Sure, we've climbed to many mountains with over 1,000 lines bursting everywhere we walk, is now painting a dotted line.
The crooks were lying, looking blind, so we took the hindsight left behind to intertwine and make it right.
Break the mic
And say goodnight.
We aim the light.
To stay in the night.
We paint a sight.
To tame the fight. We reign with might. Our brains recite the flames of pain contained with light. So name the price of advice to get diced. The makeshift gods we present. Present our essence brought to you by
Essential.
and sentence.
The instrumental is
The
menace.
residential mental dentist.
When we step inside your fences, we spread our message like it was tetanus.
Relentless.
When we rip the mic and leave you with the presence, it's nothing but the sweetest taste.
Florida orange juice was invented.
You see the message spoken clear, so you don't have to turn up your hearing. Only increase the brain's capacity for the majesty's appearing.
Emphatically we're piercing the padded patterns of mere things that cover eyes. We summarize summer skies, tongues of tide, will years blink. Cheer, think anything that's awake is snoring, sleeping head up. That's why we try to write the grinding, top finding, enlightening treasure.
We swept up the remaining dust from off of the kitchen floor and sat back as the bastards crashed running into the front door. Cause something more is here to open and expect it from off the rest. It's to invest with the thoughts and extra service for protection.
Measured nervously by henching, intention snaps when intentions are left in the mind is. We left the stereotypes behind us, jumped on stage so you could find us and threw out a couple of CDs for reminders. So technically our effigy is some kind of delighted tiger, or the last drop of saliva in the fang of the world's deadliest spider. Cause this is the exquisite,
Prolific,
gifted,
exhibit,
with the lifted,
twisted,
mystic,
statistics
of how we rip it. Yo, we dig the crates for days while Golem rips the plates
to lift the
with bitter taste.
Our breaks incinerate.
The riddle middleweight while they precipitate.
We live to make the featherweight disintegrate with every noise the guitar makes. Lift the fake from how they meditate. To set it straight, the amplifier takes a little more power to handle the pressure that comes from inside. These two MCs arrives from the norm
In different forms, shapes, and sizes.
leaving detectives all confused like we use other disguises to surprise and otherwise magnify when you stare into it with something so fresh even a perfectionist couldn't repair this
So
shit.
compare our merit to the merits like a half ferret, half parrot. We prepare this to set a terror from the toads who boast so they can tear it. Just cause they cherish golden carrots, or we're patrolling in our chariots, looking at the last time of that weakness back before we bury it.
Yeah, it's hilarious when these various rappers stick their heads up when they're better off like a turtle, hiding the face before they get swept up and left in the dust. Or carcass crushed from feeling the pressure that even a Richter scale isn't qualified to measure. And since sore losers seem to hide within the crowd, I'm a search the actors out and smack them out with intuitive sound.
Yo, we could do it in rounds. The truth will be found will be chewing the clowns and booing and frowns.
You know what, Crusade?
If the simple to love questions will be setting loose, the hounds we prove we can pound. Come back and laugh like acid flashbacks. We crash raps and collapse tracks. So grab your gas mask.
Feel the smoke pierce your lungs and fiercely stunning pain. You cheer with your hands in the air, saying the MSG is to blame. If you wanted to play a game, my colleague and I should have been informed. Now we cover the blue skies with the world's deadliest storm and invade through your terrain with lighted flames and pitchforks.
Cause this is the exquisite,
Prolific,
gifted,
exhibit,
with the lifted,
twisted,
mystic,
statistics
of how we rip it, how we rip it, how we rip it,
how we rip it, how we rip it. Solely invented the business, is business breaking your blockade.
holding relentless vision of precision, making the thought made.
We launch flames
with not the same
to haunt the flame.
Who want the fame? We grab the mic at night to get hype and ignite the monsters' claims. This is the exquisite,
Prolific,
gifted,
exhibit,
with the lifted,
twisted,
mystic,
statistics
of how we rip it, how we rip it, how we rip it,
how we rip it,
how we rip it.
Solely invented and finished this business, breaking your blockade.
Holding relentless vision of precision, making the thought made.
We launch flames
with not the same
to haunt the flame.
Who want the fame?
We grab the mic at night to get hype and ignite the monsters'
Yes,
claims.
we grab the mic at night to get hype and ignite the monsters'
That's
claims.
right,
We grab the mic at night to get hype and ignite the monsters' claims. We grab the mic at night to get hype and ignite the monsters' claims.
Can you hear what I say, or is my speech like a foreign arcade? Nobody understands until it gains a blank space on the front page about how these days performers are swarming, but still ignored until they made a popular role in the Hollywood play around videos with Dr. Dre. I could care less about fame, having my soul torn open and drained, hoping fortune distorts my name enough for people to hear the songs I play. We're revolving the wrong way, and we can't seem to be stopped on an endless merry-go-round, and no one's going to get off. We're hopefully lost, dropped in a sandbox with a hammer and shovel, forming opinions and never digging until we can set aside from each other. Try to uncover the meaning without the help of my friends. A top executive record producers soliciting your intentions.
Extensive research discovered that now your music is next.
You're allowed to be like, so here's a mic, go ahead and recite some of your text. You've been blessed with a wonderful talent, it's a damn shame you just noticed it. But here's your popularity, you should be happy, my condolences. I just can't seem to bear it, my brain's running on a treadmill, holding my rhymes in a broken notebook, soaked in alcohol that's ethyl. Now you're special is what they tell me, but clearly I don't want to hear them. They make what is mainstream, and other artists say don't go near them. I can hear them all critiquing everything that I'm writing and speaking, deciphering if I'm the next to be popular for my uniqueness.
We're leaving from this place.
The truth is how, when, and why you're a coward. Diamond in the rough, sparkling visions in people's eyes.
We leave, we fight, we weep, we cry. cry, we see the skies turn black as the ocean leaks and tries exactly like the peace of mind. The crack became deceased with time release, confined to keep beliefs
Relieve
alive.
your eyes, ears, and mind. Otherwise, they're all just confined behind the clouds and tops. The trees feel the breeze. Open up your feelings.
Written, the open book, the decision to overlook. Attach the fishing line to the back of the bandwagon and pull up the hook. Maybe the mainstream will acknowledge genius when they're told to look. Maybe the hold we took will be enough to keep us satisfied. One step starts of evolution, one lonely soul starts to fantasize. No one digs the artist's life work until the man has died. They'll follow each other off the cliff till one of them sees a path that's wide. Then one by one the dumb will come and eventually stand by his side. Eyes will size each other up, cluttering, combined like ashes. Cause no one wants to be the outcast holding the middle finger up to the masses. Passive freedom fighters, as the needle gets higher, they turn to feeble liars. Cause they blend in, they can pretend our bent society believe they tried. Or right, or we're blind by the light, assume they got the life to live when they're too tired. We should just leave them alone with their desire. They killed all the live wires, we hide life in the night and start accepting. But nothing gets accepted till it's respected by the lemmings. So let's go on pretending the stars pay dues, and that's why the rich will forget they're invented by execs with dollar signs instead of irises. Realistically, who can thrive, even survive in this environment of tyrants and violence? Where artists are hallucinations, it's the hardest we prove we're patient. My heart is foolishly breaking. We're demonstrating we're here and making it clear we're not gonna beat it. Instead we realize the pride we get from being underneath it. Yes, we realize the pride we get from being underneath it.
We're leaving from this place. The truth is how, when, and why. You're a coward, diamond in the rock, sparkling visions in people's eyes.
We leave, we fly, we weep, we cry, we see the sky turn black as the ocean leaks and tries exactly like the peace of mind. The crack became deceased with time release, confined to keep beliefs
Relieve
alive.
your eyes, ears, and mind. Otherwise, they're all just confined behind the clouds and tops. The trees feel the breeze. Open up your feelings.
What's it worth to touch the earth, and why you here not even leave a mark? There's a million critics when it comes to believing that what you see is actually art. I react to remarks by lost souls about the average vandals. Although the axe to a crowded room and just hope it hits someone with a handle.
I've never met a graph writer before, but if I did, I'd swear I'd leave him in a landfill. You'd have an insect, a bad childhood, and throw spray cans down the anthill.
Taking on us cause we progress, and most of y'all stand still. Thinking we'll put our thoughts in something tangible for nothing more than a damn thrill. We throw society on an anvil, reshape it, our pace is pivotal. Now beware the squares of redefined artists is nothing more than common criminals. Rotten pitiful, my considerable citizen in the stomach of this giant whale. Well, they dare each other to run out into the field and pull a lion's tail. Sour grapes empower the hate, so complaints your life stale. I focus my eyes well, it's my will to push the limits when it's not the right choice. If I'm not writing with paint to pen, then I'm writing with my voice. And I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm shouting, my words leave the sky stained. People live in their boxes too scared to write the complaints in giant white paint. Well, I'm the world's migraine, so I'm gonna defy the grain and go against it until I'm just too tired to light the flame. Let's make the mice nice and tame, kill them if they don't like the game, cause everything's gotta fit into its own tight little frame. I try to change the scenery, I try to pick the right fights, I try to put the way I'm feeling right up in your line of sight.
There is a piece of me connected to the wires, holding the mic, and in the other hand, a spray can to balance out my life. In times of strife and pain, I write my name in different colored kinds of paint, and not LA way, daydreaming of the next perfect place to stop the hate until it's either written over or erased. But it's worth it to throw it up and spit back in society's face, take it to it with something vicious, including my thoughts in forms of pictures and murals, as a referral to the problems of this surreal dream that so many nights as a corporate. For waking up feeling unfortunate to have one breath left to take me up to the next step. As years go by, this art form increases meaning, keeps feeding into my veins and tingles when things impress me like a new style of creation. Making a statement of life in painting takes skill and dedication to produce something amazing. Stop playing with this delicate tool. It wasn't made for you fools to think around with it in your free time just to act like you're cool. It takes a left brain to fight and gain respect from other artists. Pardon me, but it's twice as hard with your distractive kind of garbage unless you're honest. Don't try to climb the farthest of the cliff. It's through the hard times and hardships that prove you're a part of it.
telling it how it is. I'm hoping to overcome all these ropes to keep me tied, living a life divided by what I see when I close my eyes. And what I be noticing when I focus and open up big, our country's controlled by a bunch of greedy corporate executives. I woke up in a cage with long whiskers and short legs. I didn't know what I was doing or where I was, but I could sense that something was wrong because there was a tail coming out of my ass and my body was covered with fuzz. I tripped the fuck out, ran for the door, tried to escape, violated by the way that I felt encaged and I was irate. But the bars wouldn't budge or break and I fell to my knees. Would somebody please alleviate this uncontrollable urge for cheese? Lonely as can be, hoping to be free. I stuck my head out and below me saw a green linoleum sea, making waves for shiny shoe-shaped boats. That's right, giving balance to giant scientists in white coats, walking around under a neon sun writing notes, reflecting light off the chrome of their preposterous sized microscopes. I was walking a tightrope, strung above insanity, and making me dizzy with the thoughts of what they might have planned for me. I looked to my left and my right, but none of my neighbors seemed as sad as me. Don't you realize what's going on? This is a tragedy. The same lies we believe is the social narcotic that gives us the false impression of living happily. They all laughed at me. Suddenly swept away by two huge fingers pinching my tail. Left my rational thought in yesterday and was so scared I could barely inhale. Locked in a room with a glass roof and 3 halls. They watched to see the path I would choose, but the green walls kept me stalled, locked in a thought. It seems they got my life and I'm caught. And every time I stop to think for myself, these bastards send me a shock. Ah, why can't I just chill and munch some peanuts? Instead I'm running through this maze, searching for some pasteurized and processed cheese food products. Please dudes, I know it seems rude, but you said a way out life just ain't right for me. I'm like a grape on a vine in a winery waiting to be pressed into a lifestyle of hatefulness. But I can't take this step in the direction of making regrets and dedicate my whole mice-like life into what lies inside the boundaries that you set. I'm gonna escape this mess and jet, roll my own potatoes and flow with my amigos. Uncle Deep. Overcome all these ropes to keep me tied, living a life divided by what I see when I close my eyes. And what I be noticing when I focus and open them big, this music industry's controlled by a bunch of greedy corporate executives. La 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 la, hey hey.
Breaking through the barriers, we boldly bomb the battlefield. I glimpse of my greener grasses and ask myself how that'll feel. I've had my fill of pattern thrills, now I'm making the blueprint and dropping my 2 cents on those who monitor our movements. There's 1,000 reasons to drown the evening in fluorescent floodlights, and even more to justify what you missed if it was done right. It's like a one-sided gunfight or an argument with the tongue tied. The day the fun died was the same, I was declared the unsigned, so I decided to unwind. And some were exploited and some died. From the sky I tried to watch them escape from the crushing mudslide. A war of pygmies versus giants on the other side, getting slaughtered by the hundreds and somehow still wondering why. Cutting the ties of my connections, I shout insults right before their eyes. I call the giants bullies and make fun of the pygmies for the shorter size, cause I no longer care about who wins and who's demoralized. I'm immersed in music and no longer will I support the lies. Those contorted minds are the minds that thrive on being mean and deceitful. Now they don't support our music cause we don't make it to please the people. These demons are evil. So tonight, sentences the exorcist, the separatistic sending his thought to impress the penmanship, to better his collectivists and see if I can question it and get a sense to direct myself to follow my own messages.
Well, I'm hoping to overcome all these ropes to keep me tied, living a life divided by what I see when I close my eyes. And what I be noticing when I focus and open them big, most of everyone is controlled by a bunch of greedy corporate executives. I'm not. Shows how much you know.
Too many people speak hidden meanings under their breath. They try to shape the clay and don't realize I'm going to use what's left to form the steps and walk my quest as if I had never heard their breath. Submerge my head with what's best and divide it from amongst the rest. I confess with time to time my mind listens to what they say, and when I catch myself falling I pull the cord to numb the pain. Thumb through pages that explain my present state, my present plane, and when I hear something I feel my tears, write it down on a page. I didn't play the game to say the same bullshit people want to hear. I lay my soul on the table until the doctor says clear. Says I'm near the point of no return, the point I'm trying to reach, away from all these skeptics expecting me to breathe conformity. But they forgot I ignored the speech, these poor weak fools. I didn't waste my time writing to be popular, rich at school. I'm not a tool, so save your ideas and put some more work into you. You couldn't begin to fathom the point in time I'm walking into. I've been through a whole lot just to say what I have to say and mold my own footsteps with this mixture of water and grain.
Well, I'm hoping to overcome all these ropes to keep me tied, living a life divided by what I see when I close my eyes. And what I be noticing when I focus and open them big, our country's controlled by a bunch of greedy corporate executives.
What am I saying?
Poster children for human beings that lacking true motivation, cluttering their billboards with permanent spray on faces of freeze-ray patients. As we're facing annihilation, because the next day everything could fall. The only people that are doing anything with their lives are just killing us all.
So willing to fall short, said the whiny old man. Never thought that change his deranged brain could never understand concepts. You know, we outlasted these petty little maggots. Pissed because of a tragic accident that let him have it. He fell savage to a blasted occurrence and felt worthless. But the purpose is to search until conflicts are compromised. It's an odd kind of job when wrong is felt in a hard time.
The dark chimes told for the full brain with empty intentions lining it. The extension of mind in the quietest can come alive if only they find it. I'm reminded of the time it took to make something from a pile of nothing. In this picture where the victims in adversity were finally crushing.
I tried buying the prize, finding those here to make it hard, and found out through honest work and suffering why it's time to take charge and break the bars of this prison system here, holding me against my will, draining everything I have until the Mac is moving for the kill. I'm sad yet still there's something here keeping me alive. The thought of reaching the top, prompted by the will to survive.
Somehow they killed my pride with a dollar bill and a lie behind the eyes of nothing more than a machine with the quill and the skill to write. Life scavengers painting an oasis in the sands of a dead desert, pulling innocent levers to sever the pressure and better the lever pleasure.
It's making my head feel severed, cause they do this to think the pressure's better when pleasure pushes the lever to drop the guillotine on the clever. Remember, it takes more than blades and painted illusionary plays to make the mural on my canvas something that's permanently stained.
This is the victim.
A person that has wants, needs, and desires, but has no motivation to obtain them when things backfire. They cry and suck on pacifiers, complain on their bastard whiners, remain in constant mass satire, never see the light.
This is the victor.
A person that also has things they want, but when the time stops, they have a battery that saves the clock from moving off its normal pattern in the gather. Learn what matters is the mastering of hazards, and after, they're still on top. It's the people that push me over and take a step past the line. If those circumstances I fight for would always seem to pass me by. The mass spies that take their time stealing what was already mine, getting a rise of what I despise. It's taking advantage, and that seems to occupy most all in man's beliefs. Watching people put rocks in the mouth just to see them break the teeth. I'm sick of waiting here patiently when society's abrasively cutting you short of the force until you feel you can take no more. It's a poor excuse, but it's hard to open the handle to a locked door when the vandal that locked the damn thing is screaming for you to try some more. Knowing them won't help, cause they'll push back all the harder, so it's time to cut the heads off and throw them up in the dartboard. Do anything to guard yours, just don't let them catch you slipping. It's a phase and they expect that no one out there is resisting. Start listening or the shit will bring you down to your knees, distorting your speech to forcibly feed the hunger with the weak until the meat crushed with the teeth fills up every spot in their cheeks until there's nothing else to eat. The broken bones and severed tendons and other tangible things they used to worship as emblem.
It's the people that push me under the water until I can't breathe. It's the circumstances that spit in my eyes until I can't see. The mass mocking millionaires dancing around my damn dreams, handing me a fantasy, pushing me to plan B. It's man beliefs that parasites are probably the perfect role model. 100,000 pounding heads all thinking they're the sole apostle, trying to mold novel thought into something that's to ingest and imitate, victoriously gorge themselves on other people's dinner plates, ignoring the bitter taste. I'll swim through the wet cement, detecting the festering mess pressed between what's said and meant. My head is bent from scraping off the leeches of the present tense, feeding off the here and now. Any change for the insecure? Give it up quietly or have it stolen when your eyes are behind you. They're combing with a fine tooth, victimizing when they find you, probing in your mind too, and they're standing right beside you. I just hope you can tell when you're being lied to.
This is the victim.
Those who are pissing away existence for a free ride on your back up the steep hike cause they can't see what's right.
This is the victim.
Those with quicker reactions to gain a foothold and control of their surroundings, pounding through the mold with insight.
Might be a new day, but as long as the sun and moon rotate, I know I won't be walking with no fate.
Time constantly changes, but fate stays the same. So I press forward to graze a little piece of what was made. For this mold I was made by the Iron Maiden of days. Close the page of the fairy tale variety that very well marks the current destination. Resting in this place where fate changes like alteration, or patient study when wasted. I've always hated that I can't be taken for who I am. I understand why I can't take a peek at what was planned. For my future on the stand, recording thought like a journal. My innermost feelings search, divide the earth for what it's worth. I hope to break free of It takes me on this working roller coaster of life, overdose with ferocious fight and atrocious sight. To fight against the wall of opinion, simple to think we're all products of narcotics, and how we're brought up has caught us in a dominion. Fate, reality, the boundaries and galaxies seem to be surrounding me, astoundingly. I find a way to cope with my destiny, take fate as it comes to me, as some type of a recipe we make to be our entity. As weird as it may seem, we are what is made, our place in this regime. Safe we make choices to change it, but our fate is what reality makes us. We try to run away, but these days are revealing strengthness, endurance, and patience to turn the page to a new day where time isn't wasted and things fall into place, called on by the Great One. Now we are finally free of what earlier caged us.
I was first placed next to fate unknowingly in the 3rd grade. Her gaze gave me a taste of how perfect this creature was. Even at such an early age, I contemplated her beauty. I think it was a Thursday, no words exchanged. Still she slowly started scooting next to me. During a test, you see, I was stressed. To be the new student and meet someone likewise felt very special. Prudent, she showed me her smile without even saying hello. I was exuberant, wishing to bellow many a thing through time backwards. She left so fast I didn't even get a chance to ask her name. Convinced her laughter was heavenly, though soon after forgotten. Like change lost in the hole in my mental pocket. Dropped it without a sound, rerouted. Every once in a while the clouds would fit together to form her face and shouted at my turn back. Well, I wonder whether I heard that. The thunderclap serves as a rebuttal. One stormy summer in particular, subtle shapes of strangers became her. Something so familiar. After billiards in Europe, I heard the first strum of a chord saturate my soul like syrup. And there she was atop the moment, holding the stirrups, holding the future. Though I never knew it till later, I was sure. I sure was sure of what? A few more years went by and I was burning up from searching love for life and life for love. I earned the trust from brothers such as these before you. Luckily, a horseshoe of acquaintance with performance paved the way. I finally met fate on a blind date. When I brought her back to my place, offered her some wine. How you doing? How's your life so far? When you look into those skies, how do you like those stars? I replied, so bright so far. I too would like to shine. She said, stick with me, you might see victory down the line. This wasn't trickery, in her eyes was neither promise nor threat. Her calmness was so intense, I nearly wet my pants. Tried to forget I ever glanced in her direction, but at the same time, there isn't a day gone by I don't wish to see her again. I probably will.
Fate, forfeiting active tendencies, erasing memory and defacing the temple full of environmental energies. Inherently, we stare and glare at free and remark despairingly that the dark is scaring me because it's parked invariably. Right in the middle, it's half of the middle, it's the other half of the day. Together they play with the weather and fetter all of the words you say. It doesn't better the verbs displayed, acted out, not talked about. We walked the route that faded out because we forgot that we were made of clout. That's right, all of us are full of all of it and happens to be all the same. Inside of everything, an infinite amount of little energy particles, each individually tattooed with the Creator's name. All, God, us, we're to blame. We're the ones who run the show and grow the world the way it is. Thoughts locked onto a spot that talks about it tomorrow. Put it in peace with the past and watch what a combination brings sorrow. We're the fingers of God massaging continuously the muscles of the universe called fate. Creating and feeding the structure of all. Every moment we happen to take a breath. No such thing as the future, just to happen or happening against the not happened yet. The non-existent, eternally familiar path to death. There's nothing, no destiny other than to simply happen. So be in charge of your personal occurrence and take responsibility for your fate and find or make your own flowing current. Please, F-A-T-E.
I've been tossed and turned, I've been at a loss for words. I've had my thoughts purged, I've been lost and wandered into the absurd. And as this wandering occurs, I suspect I'm mechanically combined to the fantasy of flying through this capacity of time. Beyond the tragedy of mind, I find the facts to be confined, trapped in a bind, hanging from 7 struggling straps of twine. Wrapped and intertwined, fast combined from the front and behind, designed to tug and steer, manipulated by a giant puppeteer. With so much weight I can't see straight when I see my face, I crush the mirror. As the future approaches near and the past focuses a bit clearer, I'm pretty sure this could be the closest that I've ever been to here. I peer into the fear inside my life and see I can't possibly know. My time here has taught me that sometimes things unfold beyond my control. So I try to tie my mind to my soul, prepare to grab on and try to hold. But sometimes it feels like my time is sold to the highest bidder as my life corrodes and things start to build and fill me till I feel I might explode. Who knows, I didn't learn these things that could burst my seams and put an end to me and get buried under 6 feet of dirt and mud and forgotten memories. I don't pretend to be invincible, this is the life that fate has sent to me. So I cut myself out of magazines and create myself collectively. A collage on construction paper with crazy glue connecting me. They were etching me on the walls of haze before I was even born. And I evolved into a Siamese twin, right down the center I was torn. And half of me is the havoc and the other half is the eye of the storm.
I can't tell, see I'm torn between decisions. Or was I born with intuition to see tomorrow before I lived it?
Before I lived it, I lifted the vision, a tip in the scale of uncertainties. Now I could call in fate, cause that fate won't even work with me.
work with me. Work with meanings, taking steps on shallow rocks across the ocean, leaving waves of sound is how I walk.
How I walk.
And now I've stopped debating with the cause of constant waiting, working with my fate, and now the fear has started fading.
Man, I can't tell. See, I'm torn between decisions. Or was I born with intuition to see tomorrow before I lived it?
Before I lived it, I lifted the vision, the tip in the sky of uncertainty, so now I quit calling fate, cause that fake won't even work with me.
Work with me. Work with meaning, taking steps on shallow rocks across the ocean, leaving waves of sound is how I walk.
Through the shadows they wander.
I'm a brick in the wall, so freaking tall, attention to fall, collapse, smash against the ground and spin us all. I'm twisting the crawl, up between my brick friends with a thick ends, holding my soul in my sixth sense. I'm a lion facing the outside world from behind a picket fence. My spit condensed, my fist went tense, my masked man and Mardi Gras. A sideshow exhibit with twigs for legs and a handicapped parking spot. Hardly the sly fox, I no longer have a face, I just got this big ol' white dot. Go ahead, right jaw, fill in the blank, and that bubble over my head, cause you know what I might think. I'm your own personal comic book character with no insight or instinct, and I fight super villains just so you can feel safe. But in a real case scenario, I get killed every day, and I'm only resurrected when the pen decides to write another page. Well, the summer fades and it tumbles from the fucking stage, and the winter splinters up through torn floorboards, over torn mumbling plays. I find my mouth covered with duct tape whenever I got something to say. I rush to convey my thoughts, but apparently nobody works on weekends. That's when I feel like I'm a lost and forgotten contact lens dropped in the deep end. I live on a deserted island, and my split personality's a cannibal. I might as well feed him.
I've got so many problems, I don't know where to start. These things are tearing me apart. My conscience is turning dark. It's merging with my heart. Where it starts, I'm unaware. I'm scared because I'm losing it, foolishly prepared. I've seen the glare, the bright light, and I turn the other way, facing it as a tidal wave, and it's pounding on top of my brain. Some people say that pain and problems make you a lot stronger, and at first I believed it until my face hit the water. My space is now altered from these obstacles wearing me down. I hope for my own sake that what goes around comes around. Something's bound to keep my head on straight before it spins around, like the mayor on the night before Christmas when he's pissed it just happened. The only way we're different is that he can sit and laugh at it, while I'm mad as shit and can't resist trying to slap a bitch. Okay, maybe I'm not for real, but I still seem to act a bit bothered from the action to twist a dagger and tight. It's like I'm gambling with my happiness and it's my turn to roll the dice. Who told you night is a time when no sunlight is visible? Cause I assure you I've seen it every single time that I am miserable. Pissed to pull to reach system toes to make me feel the worst, as if a lifetime of problems wouldn't consist of dumb dirt. If something worse to cure it, please send it in my direction, or trust that I can heal with a lot of love and affection.
The cost of living in toxic prison, I drop my pop and narcissism. Now I'm on top of the world, but my world seems awfully distant, not consistent. A lost rendition of post-apocalyptic pigeon. A spy with one try, and a file full of lies who forgot his mission. A one-man militia with a cubicle desk and some coffee fixins. Trying to survive is not defied with time to talk and listen. Early on I dropped the wishing, cause I find it restricting. Now I just react to the saps I grasp to the fact that the plot was missing. Knots and twisting, dropping landing, bad days in this damn ditch. Promises made of flower stems and nothing's the way I planned it. I put the earth back on its axis, and I was reprimanded. I was born in fairy tale land, and then I was left abandoned. Branded, damned, I landed in this world of wasps and hornets, and they dressed me up in a pitch black suit with a yellow corset. Now I try to blend in, but I think people can tell I'm really trying to force it. And I'm torn to bits every time I think about what's most important. Maybe everyone else sees things straight, and I just see them distorted. Maybe I didn't put myself back together right when I was drawn in court. Or maybe this is all just a hoax, so I can draw support. If that was right, I swear on my life that I wouldn't feel so tortured.
Fifth column, AES and essential. Insight, In spite of injuries on these last few plays, these past few days have cast away my ability to act awake in class. I take naps or make lines to connect my thoughts, dots from different concepts. Drawings lost as I doze off, but so softly the beat echoes off in my sleep, creeping up to me in dreams. I'm being stalked by the hip-hop monster, so I guess I'll stop catching Z's and ease the strain by weaving phrases. See the days on while my brain's on a train, stopping nowhere but far, far away from the way it's been going. It's strange the way snow brings a gray tone and music brings me a rainbow. And I only complain so as to balance out the sunny days and aid my appreciation of the fact that every day we grow, whether or not we know it. Poetry woven over beats is how I cope with going to battles, in hearing references to dropping the soap in prison and Polish jokes. Funny, you need to take that shit back to the toilet bowl. In a world where money foils the soul and boils the oil slow enough to drain the soil of all life, I'm sleeping all day. It's a small price compared to a planet's fortune. My hand is forcing the pen, and that's important to me and my friends.
What? The purpose of writing verses is to give service like churches to work. This pure ends from the purest sense to insert the thread in the circle. Then be sure to lend me both ears. My purpose here is finished. I need your undivided attention for my knowledge to be inflicted. Explicit exhibits we prohibit so that you can listen to the message. Don't mistake me for a thug, cause I pack rhymes for a lethal weapon. AS an essential step in it, so cross-examine and start questioning, metaphorically recommend. So how's that for what you're expecting? My dreams are grabbing my attention in the middle of the night, and my influences fluently put me in the mood to wanna write. Talk about why people usually can't think for themselves, and point out why 99% of library books are left on the shelves. I think people are scared of themselves. They don't want to know the truth.
It's harder coming from your mouth, that hole that you be blowing through.
So do what you're supposed to do. Don't worry about what I'm doing. There's too many people doing the same thing. It's too damn confusing. I don't know which door to open, cause they're all warped and ruined, stained blue and broken in two halves, with a latch but no handle, a broken window and torn weathering, where the bottom is the example of 1.5 million anvils dropping on top of people's heads, only to find out at the time of contact they were already cemented, hardly connected, large and infested with maggots eating through the skull. Instead of killing them off, they fed the maggots until they were full. People are pulled in the same force, but in different directions, while some are torn in half, while others prefer a direction to progress in. I pick up books occasionally to feed my job for stably learning, earning the chance to go to college and expand my knowledge basically, painfully taking in things patiently, awaiting the chance to take a glance at my future and my plans for assurance there will be vacancy.
I take these things that were breaking me and erase the aching taste they leave. Rotate 180 degrees to relieve the beast that were chasing me, cause lately I found safety in the fact that negative spaces make me.
And positive vibes when I was alive, and what you been thinking collide with what you don't know. Slow you roll cause curiosity goes hand in hand with wanting to learn and wanting to understand.
And I wanted to be a man ever since I wanted into this land. The only plan that I can stand is taking in everything that I possibly can. That means dropping the canned laughter, that means blocking the bland chatter, entertaining the changing veins that echo through my mind's commanding matter.
And expanding rather than banning matter from entering into my brain, simple to gain on everyday basis, and possibly swallow more pages to stay with the century. Mentally aware, and no one ever dared to diss the clever people that make it possible for me to dwell there.
I see my path to stick the string and the camera that's been held there, but I've been chasing it for so long that I forgot about my own welfare. I open my eyes to my hope and surprise, I can finally tell there have been 1,000 astounding moments surrounding me, and my cards were dealt rare. I melted there, died, came alive again and started breathing. Now realize my true side and the lies I'd always been believing. I can see things with different meaning, and I will be until my being's leaving. And on that day I'll bear the clarity between my living and dreaming. I've seen life, death, collected debts and broken dreams.
I've heard people say they understand when they don't know the meaning.
I felt deep in my soul the aftermath of choking screams.
I've touched some people close to me, so I guess that it could mean we've experienced so many things our brains are measuring. How you learn to live, what you take in, remembering.
I've seen believers, skeptics, the lost, the undecided.
I've heard the sound of metal crush when two opposing trains collided.
I felt deep in my heart for those who'd much rather be lifeless.
I've touched the spindle, so now I can hit those that wanna try it.
Still water droplets dance and rain pour with remorse removed. Sun rays, gunplay, the mundane, numb brains and the Monday blues. And you glued to the threesome of the holy Pope Lucifer and Vishnu, screaming at the top of your lungs, one of them just to listen to you. I've been driven into an infinite view to which everything I tend to review. I'm into the truth, remember disputes, sending a loose description of doubt. We're in a house of mirrors, and every single reflection counts. And every single defective pound is a vision projected down. See the light, feel what's right, touch life, and hear the collective sound reflecting out like a mound of clouds in a levitated state, taking everything around surrounding you and meditate on its way. One man's garbage is another man's gold, and I've decided to set it straight. Since everyone takes their life for granted, I got treasure on my plate, so I'll never pretend it's fake and forever lend thoughts my place.
Forget that you have ever touched something you've never felt is reaching out to be held gently inside of the self. What is supplied is the wealth, not the material that is felt, but that exists on forever, so the intelligence can resist all the bullshit that infests this imperial life vessel that twists like a pretzel when confusion lights a staircase. I'm certainly the rare-placed individual with little bits of material. I eat like the marshmallows found inside of cereal to feed my extension, to extend its grasp of what lasts on to the next galaxy. I clasp shut the hands I used to find this demand for new things. I'm a student until I use things again and again, like papers and pens. I've taken my friends along with me, and not the ones that are resisting this mental lifting of concepts and attitudes. Experience psychology for yourself to feed your hunger for what's felt to be important. And if you ask and take the anointment, well, I'm forcing it in anyway. Knowledge, the burning fuel, eternal tool of every day.
I've seen life, death, connected debts and broken dreams.
I've seen people.
Ooh. I got a guillotene. I bring it to the park and set it up and open it to the public. People like it, they look at the sharp blade and ask if I ever use it. You know, they examine it, take pictures of it, take its measurements. Then they usually end up asking me if it'd be okay if they just stick their head in it. They think they're being adventurous, and who am I to question it? It makes sense to them even when they see the heads lying on the floor. They just want to know what it feels like when they sever the spinal cord. So I do it, it's not my place to deny the death they're tying for. If they were dead, I know they'd do it again and ask if they could try once more. A man once asked me to film his own death in the guillotine so we could watch it in front of a mirror. He said, I want to see myself scream. I felt the scheme bubbling, brewing in my chromosomes. I sell guillotines on TV so people could do this in their own homes. I spot suckers like a periscope. I get commission when it tears their throat. I call the Grim Reaper and over coffee we compared our notes. I said, you're wearing a cloak. Between you and me, you're looking very broke. How do you ever expect to get paid floating around looking like a scary ghost? Don't you understand? People love to cut their lives short. You know, just do what they can to cease this life and die. So as long as they do it, I'm gonna use it to get my piece of the pie. I'll reach for the sky, grab it and chop it into small bits. I'll shoot ice cubes to the sun inside dumb things demolished. And I'll keep the blades polished. Mount human heads in my office, and I'll call this the American dream as long as Americans have cash in their wallets. Whose platform are we standing on? Why wasn't I informed of the changes? I see the puppeteers wearing his dancing arms, and now my favorite mass murderer's famous. Now that's the type of recognition to kill for. Yeah, that's the type of lie to believe in. Every day I see God in the billboards. I'm just glad that now I got someone to tell me what I'm thinking. I sell the gallows for $120. Look at my friendly mug and tell me it's not worth it. The purchase is for every penny. What else would you need besides this famous thing? It's perfect for dangling your body from, and it's also not too bad for strangling. If you're waiting impatiently for the crop but you don't want to reap the harvest, my employees will go to your house and put landmines under your carpet, or turn on the gas and spark it. Anything to make you a happy carcass. Turn your living room to a carpet. Call our snipers and our marksmen. Set fire to your apartment or get some C4 and arm it and secretly store 20 pounds of it in your overhead compartment. I'm not a bad guy. I didn't invent the slitted wrist. I just made money off it as an infomercial hypnotist. I took the view that's so askew and gave it a simple little twist. I handed everyone the answer to every riddle on the list. The miserable can't resist, that's how it is. Remove the face if it's torn and scarred. People like this, they get to drive the expensive sports cars. It's you versus an invisible octopus with pepper spray, no holds barred. I'm an origami crane in a candle, tortured by my molten heart. Everything is sold and bought, I think my soul got caught. It's been slowly unraveling my entire life, even though I'm told it's not. I want to see the shareholders and tell them to call the whole thing off. It lost its novelty as soon as I noticed it had ghostly claws. When I felt the choking pause soaking in my open flaws, I'm just another molten god, swallowing the elements, remodeling intelligence. And never again will I take piano lessons from an elephant. Whose platform are we standing on? Why wasn't I informed of the changes? I see the puppeteers wearing his dancing arms, and now my favorite mass murderer's famous. Now that's the type of recognition to kill for. Now that's the type of lie to believe in. Every day I see God in the billboards. I'm just glad that now I got someone to tell me what I'm thinking.
Emotions of repentance and wishes for subtraction. Now fully understanding the consequences of your prior actions. Started contractions of my stomach muscle leads to bile extraction, forcing me to contemplate why I put myself in positions which I have very little recourse, except my own self-admission. Trying to keep all my many mistakes up in my mind, filing them under fucking stupid so they're easier to find. But shifting one's behavior patterns is a lot harder than it seems. Or is it so wrong in this society that deems that we can blow a person's head off, but you can't swear on TV? So who's to say what is correct and what has no place? Do my mistakes differ from yours, or were they set in the same case? I know I feel remorse when I trample acquaintances' toes, saying surface thoughts without thinking, pushing down someone's goals. Hopefully I'll never regret selling my musical soul for gold. Hopefully I can look back on a worthwhile life when old, and learning not to buy those shitty products I was sold. So told to me by once and absorbed by Matthew Daniels, saying never climb the ladder of regret. Shit, my finger slipped off the handle. Unconscious feelings with the insurmountable will to stop, except for the single fact that my brain has it under lock.
This bastard has a clock set an hour and a half early.
So when the alarm rings, he plucks me like guitar strings of heated mercury.
Ouch, this heat's burning me, causing surgery to perfectly repair infested cuts that tore my scalp from beneath my hair.
As I look back over the track of black footprints I smash in the sand, I can tell the only reason I left the trail is cause I didn't take a stand. It takes a man to break his plans, complain about it, make demands, but I can't explain the pain contained within that vacant trance. Agent chance, changing hands, with slain advance, faded chance, and raided cans. The scene collapsed right when I thought it'd stay intact. So now as I look back over those faded tracks, I see they began with a single step and I couldn't help but chain react. So sometimes our minds wish what was behind us would just stay the past, but right now's the future, right now's the past, right now's right now when you can't take it back. Fate will make it last. If you mix poison then you'll drain that glass. Your words will be the famous last until the day turns shades of grey and there's walking where the ravens play. Your life will be the shape of clay, forever it'll stay that way until you're enlightened by the faintest flame. We play this game, remain the same and just aim to lie, but today's the day you'll think about until the day you die. You'll stay alive for a while you'll forget, for a while you'll be fine until it's time for you to collect. Yeah, that's the sum of all those steps, and it projects a numbing effect. It's from that moment on you'll be desperately infected with regret. So take a lesson, take a step, take a breath, just don't act upon. My point is right now is the time you're always gonna look back upon.
Unconscious feelings with the insurmountable will to stop, except for the single fact that my brain has it under lock.
This bastard has a clock set an hour and a half early.
So when the alarm rings, he plucks me like guitar strings of heated mercury.
Ouch, this heat's burning me, causing surgery to perfectly repair infested cuts that tore my scalp from beneath my hair. Watch every step you take to avoid the contact of others. There's no time machine to take you back to the holes that you punctured. Suffered from the misfortune, the future forces. What's important, pay attention. Don't ignore it, you've got to fight off your remorse. Still, your thoughts are all you have to keep you from reaching progress. And all those things you should have done are holding you back from getting what you want. Now this ghostly spirit haunts and whispers sweet silent revenge. If only you could change your view from behind that broken fence. You've spoken and condensed into a color-coordinated Rubik's Cube. It's all those possibilities that leave you puzzled and confused, stumbling over clues you should have noticed the first time. Caution, your block thoughts just mark the spot to hurt your mind. With the next here and the next there, sex is everywhere. If you can't see them by now, you're doomed. Consumed to be scared, torn out by the hair, and sifted back into existence, only to have it happen again. Your ass can't seem to patch the skin. Scratch and bend, relax your limbs, relieving pressure from this force, sort of regret, posing a threat, keeping your head covered indoors. Seems to be the mission source, feeding your corpse, reaching remorse of sorts. To sport like you got a gimmick when your distance is noticed. Left you unfocused with all the things you can't change, coming up with hypothetical questions that no one can explain. Why'd I do it? Why me? Why not someone else? I feel like I'm dying. It's time for me to find a peace of mind within the self. I feel like I'm dying. It's time for me to find a peace of mind within the self. Help, help.
Unconscious feelings with the insurmountable will to stop, except for the single fact that my brain has it under lock.
This bastard has a clock set an hour and a half early.
So when the alarm rings, he plucks me like guitar strings of heated mercury.
Ouch, this heat's burning me, causing surgery to perfectly repair infested cuts that tore the scalp from beneath my hair.
People like you.
Sorry, man, I'm sorry.
We've been expecting you. It's about time you showed up.
What? Where where am I? This place that expands the sky's vast territory and asks you for your life story.
It's like purgatory in the sense that you were sent here to wait, but I'm gonna be a judge today and I'm gonna reveal to you your fate.
Great, will this take long? I don't have time to waste. Tell me how you would have lived if you could have taken my place.
Your place, your race, your face, please tell me that you're joking. You've broken all the rules and your mind is yet to open. We were hoping to mold you into something worthy, but you died. You thrived off lies. I'd be surprised your parents even cried when they're at your funeral, standing by your body's side.
Who are you to say what's right? If I gave any more effort, I would have lost my soul, emotion, mind, and temperature. This is just a hoax, a kind of game for you to play and react to the way I live my life, judging it every day.
You're way off, human. You're not even close to right. You received a gift and I didn't see you make the most of life. You didn't hold tight to ideas, you swayed with the smallest nudge. You betrayed people's trust and traded free will for a rush.
A rush? That's what you call this experiment that I almost traded for life just because I couldn't bear this shit? Spare me a bit of sympathy, I only did what I need. Take heed to advice from the people that influence me.
True indeed, but you had nothing to do with it. Nothing, well you did, and so did they. You best believe they'll meet their judgment. Your assumption that'll blame them is off. You're the one who's present, standing here before me while your existence gets dissected.
Well, I guess inspected, and we'll see I'm not so bad. I've had a glorious life, happy, mad, or sad. I can add up experiences that prove I've learned a lesson. Stress it? I think not. Life's full of too many questions, so I stepped into my fate, and I felt that I've been good. I tried to be accepted, tried knocking on wood, but the pain that I caused made people feel neglected. Found out the hard way, and now my life is being dissected.
It saddens me to see you casualties and your apathy, rambling on how you lived your life, but it's all fantasy. Jamming these words into my ears like I don't know the truth. It's harder coming from your mouth, that hole that you be blowing through.
Showing true motivation starts the way that I forsaken most be waiting for the goal and take it only observating thickness with the quickness of an eye. Forgot my talents and lost all the obstacles that make this life a challenge.
You balanced lead with feathers and expected it to be even. Your life lost its meaning just as soon as you quit teething. You should have stopped breathing, you never had any freaking meaning.
And so it's seeming that way until I passed away. I didn't even do what I want to do, that's a shame. Can I take another chance to accomplish my many talents? Or is my life a loss like you stated, misbalanced?
Yeah, I think misbalance is a little bit of an understatement.
Okay, I admit it. I know that I'm not perfect. I succumbed to the serpents and evil merchants, lethal verses. I cursed and even worked this unhappy job that I had, selling bags for endorsements with no remorse and never sad until I had nothing and began stuffing my liver full of pills. Didn't give a fuck, but still even then I thought I was real. Let's make a deal, you're God, and I know you can't be happy, but this is sadly a tragedy of getting back at me after see that I am different and a little bit confused. How about we forget this nonsense? Honestly, I know it put you through hell. Can't you tell that I'm sorry for what I did? I will replace all my mistakes and give thanks for what you give. I can live better than sin and give sweaters to all the cold. Write letters to all my family and that will feed my soul. Speak of those that I admire instead of the ones I hate. Walk the plank if you catch me and accept me in your gate.
Yeah, you always see the truth in hindsight. Retrospect, I guess the time wasn't right, so you were on your deathbed. The rest said the same thing. I should have done it differently. Just give me one more chance. Come on, put me out my misery. You're kidding me. If I put you back down on the wide ground, you do the exact same thing the second time around. You're mine now, you find out many things you should have changed. I should toss you in the flames. You're just the same as all the laymen. If you lived your life right, you wouldn't be up here complaining, explaining the situation, stating that you were facing tougher odds than most. But as I shuffle through my notes, I find out you had 5 senses before you became a ghost. So I suppose you know this made you perfectly equipped. You were born with potential, you kept it buried and you slipped. You couldn't control it. I'm sick of this nitpicking, finicky bullshit. This conversation's over, your argument is full, and I'm sorry, now it's too late to live your life to the fullest. God, what up, son?
Yo, what up? Yo, what up, son?
Here from New York, yo.
I got my bandana.
All these kids be like, talking to me,
Yo, I'm from New York. You can tell, can't you, man? I got an accent.
Word, yo.
Yo, I never front. I'm never front.
I'm stuck in Colorado, yo. My soul is in the East Coast. My soul is there, homie.
Yo, mine too, kid.
It's up in New York and New Jersey, or Philadelphia.
One of those places, man. Don't care.
It's Oregon. Yo, done. Word.
We're in a state of confusion.
We're in a state of shock.
We're in a boat made of rock.
Trying to retain what we got.
We're planting seeds and making lots. The foundation was lost.
Now it's twice as hard to impact. We're generating our thoughts.
We're in a state of confusion.
We're in a state of shock. shot.
We're in a boat made of rock,
Trying to retain what we got.
we're planting seeds and vacant lots. The foundation was lost.
This is the revolution moving
To reinstate the cause.
This is my block party, and everyone here's an identity pirate. A tangled web we weave, so let's make it a pretty one, so people will buy it. Rule number 1, pick the style from your favorite coast and then bite it. Second rule, you know which way the grain grows, don't try to fight it. And most importantly, the way it is, just stay quiet if you don't like it. I guess this is the effect when left and right rammed head on and collided. I think I missed the meeting when the hip-hop community got together and decided we should cover up any identity heads the Midwest have and try to hide it. Am I lying? I'm serious, we cover our minds so much we don't know what's inside it. It's life is childish, it's a smile with a hidden motive. A blank page, let me make it in face, claiming that they wrote it. An empty canvas, open mouth to me with 100 contradictions choking it. I opened it, it was broken to bits before I could see what my phobia is. And now I know my fear is the pyramid of what's already here and remove what slipped. Before they could tell my hand, those other fools had already folded it. So now we gotta build from scratch, cause my soul is fit to fill the holes and pits. I love this music and I used to build the culture, so I'm holding it close to me like a rosary. They keep stopping me and it's not supposed to be. Hip-hop isn't close, but coast and it sure as hell isn't golden tea. It used to make an impact, but somehow I think it's losing its potency. And the exact same tale is told by every Joe you meet. When their flowing's weak, though showing the meek intentions of making a lump sum. It's never, this is where I am, it's always, this is where I come from. It's always, I'm from New York, I'm from California, I'm from Philadelphia. Well, it's cool that you got roots, but too many people use that for an excuse. And they think they deserve respect because they moved from a state that was a setting of juice. And the message disputes, forgetting the proof and bending the truth. I don't think you're really a New Yorker if when you were 6 months old you moved.
Hey dude, that's a lame excuse to claim your roots faulty. So I'm gonna tell you the truth and possibly you'll get the hell off. Yo, this is my block party. Everyone grab your Timberland boots. Throw Snoop Dogg in rotation and mix up the gin and juice. Pretend you're cool, pretend you're a star. Catch a glimpse at all the fame. Change your name and I'm confused to be the new member on Wu-Tang. Oh yeah. Be sure to use the slang. People are bound to figure out your fake. So roll one of your pant legs up and choose somebody if that's what it takes. Be anything besides yourself, cause originality is foolish. Making your own statement and people will hate you and think you're stupid. Since when was it the coolest? Walk with a plastic bag over your head in the middle of 5 o'clock traffic, saying you'd rather be driving instead. If this isn't a threat, I'd be surprised to find out what is. We could play a game of Pictionary and draw out some subtle hints. Catch a glimpse of lyrical content and simply ignore the rest.
Battle MCs with bandanas and vocal pitch and decide who's best.
A giant step needs to be taken to get past the fakes, flagrant breaks in the circuitry to follow the current purpose tree. All MCs can it. Work with me and drop your phony appearance. I have only 2 ears to hear it and half a mind to deal with it. So steal your gig from an X-Man and stab yourself in the heart. Just don't be surprised if your dagger doesn't even make a mark. We're in a state of confusion.
We're in a state of shock.
We're in a boat made of rock.
Trying to retain what we got.
We're planting seeds in vacant lots.
The foundation was lost. Now it's twice as hard to get back regenerating our thoughts.
We're in a state of confusion.
We're in a state of shock.
We're in a boat made of rock.
Trying to retain what we got.
We're planting seeds in vacant lots. The foundation was lost.
This is the revolution moving to
Reinstate the cause.
the revolution
Moving to reinstate the cause.
The revolution
Moving to reinstate the cause. On the floor, opening the doors of how we explore.
The corridors of your head. In this mess you've left us living. We've got a job for you to do, and this is just the beginning. voices in my head, they're telling me things I haven't thought before. I wish I could stop, but at the same time I think I want some more. They unlocked the door and dropped my poor excuse for living. Now I'm sifting through decisions, and before my mind was missing, my world had started tipping, my heart was skipping.
Talking dizzy.
I knew I had a mission, so I gritted my teeth and embarked on it quickly.
Awfully risky.
Watching mixing, thought without distraught and wishing my conscience wasn't listening, but it caught me slipping. Now my spot is jostled and my top is lifting. The cost of living with this sermon in my temples constantly giving. I got the open arms, open mind. I find the task is mine. I rushed to pack my rucksack and left the past behind. My path was blind. I didn't know if I could last this time. I found myself in a land where I knew that they'd attack my kind. I hid in the black and finds the shadows, but discovered the price of leisure. I found my surroundings be inhabited by mind readers. They climbed inside my ears, took a look and saw that I was here to fight. But I woke and spoke, and since they couldn't talk, they're shocked and let me keep my life. Despite my pride, I can't decide if it was right. I left on a quest, I don't know where I came from or where I'm going to. I've learned so much my so-called life, now none of it's holding true. I'm roaming through a new place every day and it's showing too. I'm weary, I'm tired, I'm lost, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I rushed into. I overanalyze and crush my clues. I wipe the dust on my shoes and continue traveling. Continue gathering maddening thoughts that are scattering. Feel like I'm sitting on Saturn's rings, like a laughing king looking down at his peasants and realizing he doesn't have a thing. I wish my back had wings so I could fly and not return, so I could lurch my perch in search of purpose while the world burns. But I'm really not concerned. I've learned so much and I'm believing that the meaning of my trek is just to find the meaning. Lessons emerging with death ever perching. My flesh felt like burning, searching for breath in my chest was just hurting, alerting my nerves to bring turning, murdering the only thing worthy. The test that the earth brings, ingesting the mess in the head. We're conversing the less that it sheds on the dark when the sun sets. The more that it's working, behavior disturbing, hurting.
Voices, thoughts, and choices of feeding my flesh, eating my breast, filling me full until there is just nothing left. But there's something keeping my interest. Since success, my insurance raised. My caught as a slave to these voices inside my brain, cheering when I feel pain and steering me towards the grain, calling my name until recognized. My eyes are tranquilized. I think the skies for each try to piece together the puzzle. My motivation is lacking and my brain is a puddle. Insane when I huddle and try to get the plays right. It's fourth down and my goal is to gain this strange flight, landing in the planes crashing in the same fashion I had left it. And if I'm not prepared, the voices share with me a pleasant
sentimental
message. Reminder of why I keep a hold adding pressure, adding more sense for the people content when they invest more money and time to hear why all the voices cry. Never rest and never die, hidden inside my clever mind. I tend to find a new role in every song I like. The call is tapped with all the math, all the work, all my worth, all the pain it makes me hurt. Still I search to find the source of this power surge, and if I ever found it, I'm not sure that I could drown 1,000 words. I write and salvage, gather thirst from this spirit, voices and whatnot. I stuff the plot in my inner appearance.
Lessons emerging with death ever perching. My flesh felt like burning, searching for breath in my chest was just hurting, alerting my nerves to bring turning, murdering the only thing worthy. The test that the earth brings, ingesting the mess in the head. We're conversing the less that it sheds on the dark when the sun sets. The more that it's working, behavior disturbing, hurting.
We have only one thing to give up: our dominion. We don't own the world. We're not kings here, not gods. Can we give that up? Too precious, all that control. Too tempting being a god.
Quiet down. Trying to record. Don't ever compromise or try to stop the time. It might sound like a miracle because it's often lies. I'm a poet taking myself off the auction block to die. And retrospectively am I confident? Just watch the sky change from dark to light. Reflect on how I embarked on life, looking towards the farthest light, questioning what's right and thinking like an artist might. That must have been the hardest fight, to ride without the harness tight and make it through the fog at night. In the glass jar with the top too tight. Even if the cost is high, that's the size without last. Catch the photo of the intellectual who made himself an outcast. It's difficult to shout blasphemous phrases when your mouth smashed. Crash. That was a detonation of the peak you mounted last. I found the path, the hollow tube leading through all the demons. This is the last chance to advance and follow through with what you believe in. You read me, you dig, you're picking up what I'm laying down. It's simple to disappear when you're screaming, doesn't even make a sound. I'll pound the ground and tattoo on my forehead the knowledge I found. Then I walk around yelling it to everyone in this college town. Like the 80s, I'm bound, and it don't look like I'm busting loose. I apologize to everyone that our music doesn't make you wanna bust a move. If it did, the song would be pointless. So in our tape, waste your day away as it fades into the countless shades of gray. But it's not, I didn't compromise my music for a dance hall. I don't give a damn if you stand motionless when I say throw up your hands, y'all. We stand tall, if you don't accept it then pass back the torch. Cause you can be standing still, but I can still see your brain nodding back and forth.
Every passing second, my breath is short and lifeless. I wonder if I've been looking too long from behind the same eyelids, searching for a place to hide in the nose when I'm close to dying. In frames every word, every verse I wrote since I started trying. I've seen words others wrote, but didn't come close to the meaning. That's why I poke hole in my own throat to show it's me inside that's bleeding. Now I'm leaving, and the path I take embraces me with light. And the ever so present feeling inside that I did what was right. I didn't give up the fight until I lost with the motive. That it's wrong to have silent words to say some words inside a poet. I had a purpose and I showed it, planted a seed and was reborn with it, grown to fit the suit of a soldier with my confidence to reinforce it through this torture that's torn me apart, limb to freaking limb. I've learned a way to fight with no arms and legs and still come out with a win. Now I'm captured in this scenery until the day I die, only hoping that someone notices my motives through a poet's eye. My soul cries every day to get the attention it deserves, but if I never get it, my last request is to be buried with my words, respected and heard in lectures that work by people with open minds. Will give me the satisfaction to pass away from these times and see behind a looking glass all the people I've affected, remembering the way I felt when I was sitting inside my deathbed.
Not the same, AES, yo, the Dialects and poets.
Once myself, you know you're gonna die like a poet.
Visual music, man, those kids will die like some poets.
And the 10 yellow friends, they're all gonna die like poets.
My man Pius, yo, you know he'll die like a poet.
DJ Genre, you know you're gonna die like a poet. Golem, you're gonna die like a poet. Uncle D, that kid's gonna die like a poet.
Master P,
yo, you're gonna certainly die.
Rebel Allies,
you're gonna die like some poets. Idol Phoenix, that kid's gonna die like a poet.
All poets are speakers, y'all will die like some poets. Graffiti artists,
you're gonna die like poets.
DJs, B-boys, yo, you'll die like some poets. Phantom, Mind's Eye, man, you'll die like some poets. Everybody who likes hip-hop, you'll die like some poets.
Except the ugly kids.
Yo, you'll die like poets too. Unless you make whack music, then fuck you. Yo, wow, dying like poets. Come on, die like a poet. Thanks for buying the tape. Die like a poet.
Die like a poet, y'all.
Gather round, now it's time to call a shot, yo, don't try to come off, cause we ain't giving up the props in the realm of the lost.
Well, you just can't hide, so let me welcome everybody to the other side.
Firearm, then release one shot, 2 shots, 3 more shots after that.
Yeah, what's up now? Yo, what's up now, kid? Yo, what you at? What you sporting?
Yo, it comes like this. I'm a crip, coming through busting bloods in the lip, watching the real color drip. Yo, that's how sick it goes in the ghettos. You know I'm now becoming retro. I'm from the hardest town in this fucking city. Yo, Los Angeles coming through like Frank Nitty. Yo, killing MCs like this. You know, I got my mic and I'm ready to slit any MCs in the wrist.
I'm coming through, I'm fresh and I be taking out punks, leaving dead bodies in my trunks. What you thinking? Coming through, leaving your body stinking. Grab the microphone, I'm fresh. Yo, what you thinking? Yeah, you need to just think something else, cause thinking that I'm bad isn't good for your health. Because cause I'm coming through. Got a rhyme, yeah, I got one. I also got 20 knives in the shotgun. I'm coming through, I leave you with a carcass. Man, I take your El Camino when I park it inside of the bottom of a cliff. Then I rip off your lips. I'm fresh and I'm a crip when I'm coming through. Pimping like my man. I'll be grabbing the gun and shooting it from my hand. Yeah, that's right, I take a toke and then I leave my barrels up in smoke. What, yeah?
Bling bling diddly bling, I think that the mic just have to sing like a big pimp pimpin'. You from the west coast to the east, suck your dick, get off my fucking dip. Don't even know, cause I be motherfucking pimpin' your whole block. Look out for me, man, I don't even have to ring shots, because I pimped them already. You bought your gun down there with the pawn shop. Shit, I be pimpin' that dude, and everyone that you knew. Damn, motherfucking big pimpin'. Bling bling, west coast to east coast, it's simply the #1 MC that be pimpin' these lyrics like I was a motherfucking G, but I'm not. Don't have to resort to violence, cause I'm pimpin'. Well, I'm smiling.
You know I'm living fucking self. I got a fat ass wad and it's my golden wealth, because I got a gold necklace. It's gigantic, man. My necklace is bigger than Titanic. When I grab the mic and then I slam it, you thought that you were better than me? Damn it, I don't think so. Man, I'm a dead thriller coming through, whack gangster killer, cop killer. And you know that's a fact. I take your brain and I blow it right back out. Thicker and sicker than anything.
What? Yo, it's Dolo White coming through, so your mic, then I might just throw it out to some other MCs, cause I be pimpin' the whole block. I be pimpin' you from Jews to Germans to black guys. I don't give a fuck, I'm just a motherfucking pimp of all kinds, all races. No discrepancy, I'm just